Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Index or Office Hours. Today is the 2nd of June, and this is Index Office Hours 260. Thank you for posting the link in the chat box there, Juan. Really do appreciate that. For all those who are new to Index Office Hours, this is the town square where graph ecosystem participants come together and discuss the most important and relevant topics for indexes. As always, as I like to say, this is a conversation and we do love participation, so feel free to get involved in today's conversation via voice or text. We're going to make this one a bit more open, so do get involved in today's conversation. Just as a reminder, and if you have any challenges with your microphone, let me know by typing in the text box, and I'll try and get that sorted for you. As a reminder, this session is going to be recorded and posted onto public channels like YouTube, so if you are concerned about privacy, just bear that in mind. And with that, let's get into today's agenda. Going to be swiftly handing off to Carlos for the regularly scheduled Repo Watch section.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Repo Watch. So this week is going to be a fast one. We have a patch version for Aragon that address some critical bugs, so you're advised to update. The latest version is now 3.4.3. We also have a new 𝗨𝗀𝗂 minor version. We're now at 0.8.1. This also addresses some issues. So if you're running Polygon, especially with 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗳𝗂, you should update this soon. Then from Streaming Fast, we have a new Firehose Ethereum version, now the 2.17.4, another patch version, addresses some fixes, also some new features. And we have a new tag for Go Ethereum for Polygon, which is now at 2.8.2. And that's all for execution layer clients this week. There's no consistent layer client updates, nothing on the Graph stack, and nothing on Launchpad stack. So I'm passing on to Juan for the usual protocol watch.
Thanks, Carlos. Okay, starting with Protocol Watch, we also have just a couple things to cover. Starting with forum governance, we have something called sync bounties, which is a trustless market-based replacement for the upgrade indexer. It is a GRC that's been sparked up by Petco, and apparently what it's trying to do is kind of create a market for people to push their own deployments to be at least synced by one indexer, and kind of create a direct payment or direct fee for the first one that enables that deployment to be live. It is quite an interesting one, and it's also, from what I could read, technically live. So it can be used essentially. How much of that is integrated, I'm not entirely sure. It's a shame, Petco is not here currently to discuss that, but it is quite interesting nonetheless. The link is in the agenda as always. For forum research, we do have one of the core dev updates that includes Edge Node. Those updates are pretty lengthy because they cover a whole month. So if you're interested in one of those, it's in the agenda, linked in the agenda again. And for the contracts repository, we have two open PRs. One is to prevent over-allocation, double collection in present POI. And then there's another, dependency bump for Axios. No new updates for network subgraphs, and that's pretty much it for Protocol Watch. So I'm going to be handing over to 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗳𝗂 now.
Awesome. I'm just messaging Petco to see if he's able to join us today, as we got a last-minute cancellation for another topic that I had scheduled. It's Index Office Hours 260, which is crazy. We've been doing this for quite a while. I've been doing this for quite a while. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll be sharing some news soon. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, it is crazy that we're at 260, and it's been a pleasure hosting every one of these thus far. I'll leave the space for the question here that Matthew's asked everyone, which is everyone still using Aragon? He mentioned that the team is moving over to Breath, and Carlos has mentioned that they're still running Aragon, and Aragon for Gnosis and Linear is also the case for Data Nexus as well with Vincent. Yeah, keen to get that discussion going. Moving to Reeth wherever possible from Aragon. Seems like other folks are trying to do the same as well. Do you have any advice, Matthew? Yeah, it's 5 years of IOH, and that's not counting the breaks. That's incredible. That is insane. No specific advice. Yeah, that's all good. It's all good. I see Matthew's typing. Someone posted today that there's an Arbitrum Breath. Not sure who that posted that. Yes. Give a link to the post. Maybe you could share. I saw there was work on it, but I stopped following after PBSS Arbitrum was released. Really nice to have sub 5 terabyte Arbitrum node. Yeah. Really? My internet is fine. Let me just double check. Speed, it should be. Yeah. So it's not an internet issue. Perhaps, probably volume gate. It's automatic voice detection. Perhaps if I move closer to the mic, it might recognize my voice more. Is that better? Yeah, I think so. It does seem to be. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, fantastic. Thanks for letting me know about the audio issues. Hopefully this is a better setup and it doesn't cut out as much as it has done previously. Matthew says we will be moving off Polygon, Aragon, and dropping subgraphs that Bohr archive doesn't support with trace methods. Nice. I remember that meme, chocolate rain. Come on. All right, Vince is saying we're about to shut down our Aragon nodes before the announcement. We can get to Chainhead in the last couple of months. And Gemma seems to agree with Matthew saying she did this a few weeks ago and just couldn't get Aragon stable. Maybe you can share why you couldn't get Aragon stable and we can try and help you out there. Maybe you can share some more information, Gemma? because it's crap. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's pretty honest. We killed Polygon. If we were bringing it back, it would be bought, yeah, with PathDB. Also got fed up with it that it's grounded for the foreseeable future, at least months grounded. Polygon. Yeah, there's a lot of annoyance with Polygon. That is some alpha, indeed. Yeah. I'm glad people are trading notes and sharing information here. This is important for IRH. Fair enough. Fair enough. I wonder. I just messaged. It was yesterday. I messaged Rem about updates for REO, but haven't heard back. Did you manage to get a hold of Rem for REO updates? Rem, if you have any.
Asked him about an update of the reward eligibility oracle and dips, and he mentioned that some bugs were found and they required another round of audits. And I'm not sure if that is referring to dips or the reward eligibility oracle or both. But that's the latest I heard. I think yesterday from Rem that they needed another round of audits before it's ready. I know Dips is around the corner as well, in the next couple of weeks. It should be at least going live on testnet and then mainnet soon following after that. So.
Got it. Thank you so much for the update there. Hopefully that other bug is sorted. Speaking of bugs, did people anyone here got affected by the Gnosis bug recently? With Gnosis Pay, I'm curious if anyone else is experiencing issues there. It was a pretty big one. There's a hack that was executed that. Oh, really? Oh, it's a shame. Pretty good product. But yeah, unfortunately got hacked. Yeah, they are, which is great, which is really good. I'm glad they're solvent enough to do that. Yeah, it was a crazy situation. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, it's a bit frustrating today, but we've got another last minute cancellation, so we're trying to figure out how to best use this session and make sure folks get the best out of this. I've been talking to Slim about some ideas for stuff we can talk about, but there's a few things in limbo, so unsure what we can discuss. Are there any things people want to know more about from different core developers or about different projects or just general questions? Would love to make sure we get those answered in this conversation or in the next one. I saw Carlos was typing there.
You should know by now, Abel, that I'm never serious.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm curious though, still to see what you're gonna type. See Slim is typing. See if it's. Jesus, don't torture me like that. That's maybe today. No, don't do it. Endless typing. Torture. It's hilarious. Oh man, I'm gonna miss the banter. Oh, we got Derek in the house. You unmuting just to say something? I guess not. Maybe that was an accident. All right, Slim. What do you think we should do for this one? How do you think we should cover it? Audio fix. Okay. Yeah. All good. All good. Yeah. 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 Trying to get. We're trying to get that sorted. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Hopefully Oreo dips soon. Soon. Yeah, I mean, these things are complicated to launch, I would imagine, and it's better to launch something that doesn't risk losing funds. Um, you know, I think the guys are taking a very cautious approach to make sure that things are safe. But yeah, hopefully soon. As Slim shared with the update there, launching contracts is not a good candidate for testing abroad. Yeah, exactly. Launch Ario without a smart contract, then add smart contracts later. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to defer that to RAM to see if. I mean, it sounds like they've already gone through the process of creating the contracts and getting them audited. So I don't know if there's a possibility for that this late into the journey, but perhaps the future kind of iteration. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had control over this and a way to help, but it sounds like RAM is moving as fast as he can to get this sorted. Um, Yeah, I do agree. I do agree, especially when millions are being wasted. Um, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to freestyle this conversation. Is there any ways that we could do that, Slim? What do you think? Are there any updates that you can share internally? I know that there's a lot going on right now, but I'm curious if there's any updates that we can share or things we can discuss. Freestyle. Yeah, indeed.
I mean, Juan is in the house. Maybe he can update us on like the current status of the substream data service. Not trying to put him on the spot, but I mean, he was posting in chat, so
Yeah, let's do that.
maybe that would be valuable.
Yeah. You want to share some updates, Juan?
Ora is actually quite sick today. He came in to do his bit on IOH, but I don't think he's in a good place to speak too long about this. But I'll let him speak.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can hop in just because he asked like what was that? Just asking for an update on substreams SDS. If you have something you could share on that. It says MVP scope is essentially completed, but that didn't include contract-related work for it to be permissionless. So there's some post MVP work to do. Nice. What do you think the deadline is for this? When do you think you can get stuff out? TBD. Fair. See if one is typing. Okay, let's see. The stack itself is an MVP in an MVP state, so it should technically work. We've tested it within our own cluster as an MVP. It does work, but there's many different layers of testing and preparing for it to actually be permissionless. So that needs to be worked on. Got it. Nice. And the deadline is TBD. So currently working on that, and we'll see what happens next. I see Carlos and Matthew are typing. Works on my laptop. And then Matthew asks, can anything be of value without the permissionless part? Yeah, kind of alluding to what you were saying earlier about shipping stuff that isn't smart contracts, and then shipping the contracts later. This is on the forum for people to read, FYI. Let's have a look at this. Yes, we spoke about Petco's post there. I just messaged him to see if he can join. It's a bit late for him, unfortunately, but I'm going to see if I can try and get him on. What? Okay, so mine says I think so in response to Matthew's question about anything that's valuable without the permissionless part, and he's saying it could be released as a whitelisted product, i.e., substreams providers be part of a whitelist rather than fully permissionless, and enable payments without the need for full contracts to be released, although some basic shape of the contracts needs to be there for graph tally integrations to work correctly. That is how we scoped it too. First version to be ready for soft release with whitelist, with permissionless coming later. Although no issuance, also no issuance required for the whitelist version. So that helps in shipping faster since it doesn't need to go through council. Sorry, I can't really discuss on the mic since my voice isn't going to hold up. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm trying to do yeah the voice part. Is that helpful, Matthew? Any thoughts or response to what Juan has written there? I've just got confirmation from Petco to saying that he's available to join next week to discuss his post. So I will make a note of that. Petco's pretty reliable, so I'm sure he'll show up next week. Okay, now that we're actually going to do that, now are we actually going to do that, or is everything blocked by this permissionless thing? And Juan is just responding to that there. I don't think it's blocked, although how/when release is happening isn't entirely up to me. Yeah, fair. There's a lot of things happening at the moment. Who's the project manager? I think there's a lot of complexity behind the scenes at the moment that is being figured out right now. I mean, we could share that, but I think there's more complexity here about navigating the there's like a little bit of an internal thing that needs to be figured out before pass. I don't know. Eugenia is typing, and the roadmap. Yeah. Maybe you guys can talk to it better than I can. Yeah, the roadmap and decisions are being made in collaboration with the foundation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, currently figuring out how to navigate. So map on SDS is on track. MVP scope is one mentioned. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Are there any other things that people want to know more about going forward? Want to line stuff up for next week's IOH? Keen to hear people's perspectives. Or if there's anything that people want to hear more of, any updates on specific things, yeah, let's try and get those questions and stuff answered. So if anyone has any things that they would like to discuss, I mean, Juan's given an update on SDS, but yeah, if anyone has anything else that they want to discuss or get updates on, do let me know. See Matthew's typing. Anyone to talk about 𝗨𝘀𝗃𝗀 public beta launch in Q2 as per roadmap? I can just ask about every box on the roadmap. Yeah, fair enough. Any updates on the GraphOps side for 𝗨𝘀𝗃𝗀? Not sure where that's at, but if you guys have any updates on stuff there, would be great to get questions answered.
There's nothing new in terms of engineering and development work. Since last time we updated on it, there may be, I know there's been some further progress on the business side. Regarding what Matthew is asking about roadmap, I think it's pretty much in the same position as SDS, in the sense of I wish I could give you an update on the roadmap itself, but it's not only up to us, and I don't have news to give you at this point on that. I'm sorry.
There you go. Engineering is made progress. Stuff is being figured out on the business side. Progress is being made there, and we can try and get you a more solid update soon. I see Matthew's typing. Can we get someone for the biz to come to our next office hours and address the business-related questions? Is that in relation to 𝗨𝘀𝗃𝗀 or just a more general question about other projects? Both on the roadmap generally. I know you might be kind of everything might be up in the air, but if you have any updates on the roadmap that you can share, that would be No. Please keep it coming, Matthew. These questions are great. We want to try and get as much of this answered for you. I see that Chris has joined, so maybe, and Chris has a more business aspect and an engineering aspect to the project. So, is there anything you can discuss in relation to 𝗨𝗀𝗪𝗀, Chris? Like anything you can share publicly about the project and the public beta launch and for Q2?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Awesome. Hey, good to be here. Yeah, so our work on 𝗨𝗀𝗪𝗀 has continued to progress well. I think you guys have covered, what 𝗨𝗀𝗪𝗀 is and who might be interested in using it in prior sessions, but very happy to revisit any of that detail if it would be interesting for folks. Otherwise, in terms of roadmap, we are launching the private MVP of 𝗨𝗀𝗪𝗀 Access, and anyone who's interested is very welcome to get in touch with us on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, wherever, and we can provision you API keys and access to that product. Yeah, are there any more specific questions?
Yeah, Matthew, do you have any more specific questions in relation to 𝗨𝗀𝗪𝗀 so we can get them answered? No, just looking for updates. Okay. So I see you're typing. Sounds like Matthew is raising his hand to join the private beta. How can we get that sorted? So I guess reaching out to the 𝗨𝗪𝗀𝗀 team. I have enough. Oh no, okay. I thought you were raising your hand there to say that you would like to join the private beta. Fair enough.
Anyone who would like access can get in touch with us and we'll provision you API keys. And then in a couple of months, we will move towards public access where you'll be able to sign up online and get access as well as pay for the service and so on.
Amazing. Well, you heard it there first. So if things ease up on your side, Matthew, then you know what to do. Either reach out or wait for the public beta. Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris, for the update there. Really do appreciate it. Slimmest, is there stuff that we can talk about on the roadmap that you can share publicly? I know that there's a few things that are up in the air, but I'm curious to hear if you have any things that you can cover in today's conversation.
Not outside of what has already been discussed at IOH, the board eligibility oracle, the DIPS, Rio, the upcoming data services. I think we've discussed most of these at length. We are coming close to launching the liquid staking initiative in a closed version, and at the end of the month or potentially early next month. Our target date is July, but it is likely that we'll be deploying that sooner, and we'll be working with select partners to seed that vault with initial amount of GRT, and we'll also come back here to Indexer office hours with a proposal for how a foundation-led indexer delegation program can look like, and we'll be seeking, both indexer and community member feedback on that proposal. it's not going to go only after the highest APR, but instead be used to like improve economic efficiency in the graph and delegate to people that are supporting a wide range of chains or do other like off-chain activities, maintain dashboards, and so on. So this is something that we would seek input from many different stakeholders in the ecosystem on. And other than that, I did mention already to 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗟𝗶 that we may want to look into 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗂 and Agent Zero, having sessions on that, but it's outside of our like core ecosystem. Much of the work that is being done there, so it's not always easy to get a hold of someone to have a presentation at IOH. And Matthew, yeah, you bring up a key point here as well of the liquid staking initiative is this will allow the foundation to bring more stability and foreseeability to indexer income. If we can delegate like long term to indexers, they know that they don't suddenly wake up one morning to see 80% of their delegation gone if it's coming from one entity. And that's one of the things I look forward to.
Lim, on the liquid delegation derivative, are there plans to get that integrated into DeFi in any way? Because that really seems like the play, right? Is to attract GRT into a yield-bearing position that can then further have utility as collateral in the rest of DeFi.
Yeah. It's already planned to have 3 components. One is the core vault component that allows people to delegate GRT and get a yield-bearing ST GRT in return. That's going live in July with a private launch, and then in September we'll have a public launch. 2 months later, we will have the 1 month later, we will have the GRT, SCGRT liquidity pool, so that people can actively swap in and out of those yield-bearing positions. And then in December, we will also launch a Morpho Blue market, allowing people to either supply USDC to earn yield, or deposit STGRT, so the stake GRT, and take out a loan in USDC against that yield-bearing GRT. So that would allow some more like creative strategies in DeFi. So definitely something we are looking at in a more like holistic manner, how we can activate the token. It's a surprisingly low volume of like both volume of trades and low liquidity on Arbitrum, which is currently our main network, right? So I would love to activate that. And one other thing there is that we will also have cross-chain delegation. It's something that is built into the vault contracts, so it's something that we get for free, and we will allow, but for free I mean with minimal additional resources required, and that will allow people to delegate from their native chain. But yeah, we are looking into like more like holistically. Okay, what other ways can we activate GRT? But those are the 3 main ones. For I guess Vault, liquidity pool, lending market, and cross-chain delegation. And we are exploring some other options as well. Happy to take any suggestions here on this call if you have any other ways you would like us to work. Yeah, the looping vault is always that's the first. Poly, so the vault will work like people will deposit a GRT into the vault, and then the delegation itself will be managed by the foundation. So yeah, that's unified liquidity, as Chris says. So you won't be able to choose your indexer itself, but this is intentional. This is by design. As we now move into new data services, delegators will have to choose both a service to delegate to as well as a service provider. So instead of a list of indexes that we already know, most delegators find it quite complex to choose an indexer, and a lot of the stake is just centralized in the large providers or in the top 5 on the list, and people don't scroll down to any other options. With this, we can, with Horizon, this is now a matrix of possibilities, as you have to choose both the service and the provider. So with the liquid staking initiative, we can abstract away that choice, and people can delegate into a foundation managed vault. If an indexer changes a cut to 100%, if they go out of business, if they change their index address, if there's any other things that happen, the foundation will monitor and will change that delegation. So it will be more of a set it and forget it, and we hope that that can attract both the retail delegators, but another key unlock is that we can work with larger entities. I'm already in talks with centralized exchanges, wallets, and some asset managers that are interested in these kind of products, and having it be a simple SDK that they can integrate with, or a simple one-click delegation is a lot more palatable than to work with. Have to manually oversee and manage multiple delegations themselves. So we will use the enzyme Onyx contracts, which, let me see. I don't know if they are, yeah.
Sorry,
I believe, yeah. Are you?
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, please, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. No, I see Chris answered his own question there. And whether it's an ERC 4626 vault, which it's not ERC 4626 compliant.
Yeah, I can see the chat here, and I can see that there's been some understanding of what it is.
the vaults that we are using does allow for quite like fine-grained control. So, for example, we can assign someone like, well, 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 will be the ones that are managing the day-to-day operations, and I will work with them on deciding the list of indexes to delegate to and so on. But they will manage and monitor the vaults day to day, and the vault contracts does allow for like fine-tuned control. So, for example, we could have the Graph Council be able to be the only entity that can select like which contracts that the vault can interact with. For example, it should only be the graph staking contract and a certain set of calls on that contract, while the foundation could, for example, enable or disable different data services. So in that delegate call, there's now like an amount, a service provider, and a verifier address. And we could set it so that the council is the only one that can choose this call is available to be used by the vault. The foundation is the only one, well, the foundation and the council can choose what verifiers are available. So we could choose what service provider, sorry, what data services are available to delegate to. And then we can delegate the last part of choosing the amount and choosing the service provider to 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, so that they can delegate based on our preferences. And I think this kind of like layered access controls is quite, it's a lot more limited on some of these other standards, but it allows us to like fully outsource this to 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, who's been in the business since 2017 as well, working with both institutional investors and entities to bring these kind of products to them. So I think it's a good like trade-off, meaning we can set a timeline and we know that we can meet that timeline. We outsource it to someone else, and it's not like, it allows us to keep our resources working on other projects while still meeting our deadlines, and it's also, they also have quite a lot of connections that can be valuable, and they share in the upside. So it's an incentive for them to also work on the graph's behalf there.
I see Chris is typing. Maybe there's a follow-up question or thought. Fair enough. Okay, well, hopefully that answers your question. If you do have any follow-ups, feel free to interrupt, as always. And yeah, Carlos, as you mentioned earlier, there's never a serious comment. It's always banter. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I don't think we've done the POAP thus far, so if you want to share the POAP, Eugene, before we wrap today's conversation, just want to make sure people get that as well. Perfect. Let's, before we wrap, exactly. Okay, great. If you have any follow-ups on any of that, Chris or anyone else, feel free to interrupt me by typing or audio by unmuting your mic. If not, then I'll take the opportunity to thank Slim, Chris, and everyone else who's joined the conversation and joined us today in this IOH. And yeah, very, very grateful for you guys all coming along. And we look forward to seeing you guys at the same time next week for another edition of Indexer Office Hours, as we are at the top of the hour. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.